Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something pretty thought-provoking. It's from a YouTube video, actually, and it makes this bold case for choosing what it calls inconvenient life over convenient lifelessness. Our mission, really, is to unpack the main ideas here. It draws a lot from spiritual, even biblical viewpoints, but we want to explore the arguments themselves, without getting lost in endorsing specific theologies.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how it challenges some basic assumptions. Assumptions about how we talk, how we communicate, and, well, our place in the world. It uses lessons from what it calls ancient wisdom alongside modern observations. And it asks, what does it really mean to speak correct words? And this idea of being in the world, but somehow not of it, it definitely brings up some big questions about integrity, purpose, things like that.
Absolutely. So, okay, the video sort of kicks things off talking about words, the power of words. It uses that vivid image, the metaphor of a ship's rudder, how this small thing steers the whole vessel. It argues our speech is like that. Crucial, precise, truthful. But here's where it gets maybe more challenging. It's not just saying be nice or, avoid upsetting people.
Right. It's pushing for speaking what it specifically calls correct words, foundational truths maybe, principles, even if they're dull, uncomfortable or inconvenient for people to hear.
Exactly. And think about the burden it places on, say, a leader, a teacher, a parent, anyone in that kind of role. The video suggests that not speaking a necessary truth, even if it might hurt someone's feelings in the moment, isn't really solving anything.
It's allowing a problem to just sit there or even grow.
Yeah. It argues that leaders who fail to speak these correct words, they're kind of failing in their duty. It uses the term watchman.
The watchman. That ancient idea, right? Someone whose job it is, their solemn duty, to warn people if danger is coming. And the implication is silence, when you should speak truth, can lead to, well, pretty bad outcomes down the line.
It's not about just wanting a fight, though.
No, not at all. The video frames it as coming from a place of deep care, almost like a parental love for the other person, a love that's willing to take some flack, endure criticism for the sake of what's true and ultimately helpful. It makes you consider the long game, the ripple effects of what we say or what we choose not to say.
And that idea that words have this kind of profound weight, it leads directly into the next big concept in the video, this idea of living in the world but not being of the world.
Right, the salt and yeast analogy.
Exactly. We're meant to be transformative elements, mixed in, part of society, but not just absorbed by it. The goal, it suggests, is to elevate things, improve things, but then there's a warning, a pretty stark one.
That people can become more secular than people of the world, as it puts it.
Yeah. Too lenient, maybe, towards actions or values that the source sees as sinful. It uses that biblical story of Lot's wife, looking back at the burning city, turning into salt.
Powerful symbol.
It is, symbolizing getting so caught up in, what does it call them? Luxury goods, trends, and worldly pleasures.
That your core principles get compromised, even if outwardly you're saying all the right things.
Right, even while claiming to be on a different path.
Which really throws that core tension into sharp relief. The video even quotes a biblical verse directly here, something like, friendship with the world means enmity against God. It's pretty strong language.
Very strong.
It basically argues that this connection to what it calls God is incredibly serious, that a huge sacrifice was made to even make it possible. And yet it observes sometimes people seem to engage with it mostly to get ahead within that fun world, as the video calls it, for power or influence. So it poses a question really for you, the listener. Are your actions actually lining up with what you say you believe? Or is there a disconnect, a kind of double life maybe? Outwardly adhering, but inwardly pulled by other things. True conviction, the video suggests, means holding on to that transformative quality, even though you have to live alongside everything else.
Okay, so if that's the individual challenge, what about how we relate to others? Within a community, maybe. The deep dive also stresses that real integrity from this perspective means avoiding, quarreling, especially among those who supposedly share the same core beliefs.
Prioritizing the mission, yeah.
Right. It points to selfish desires as the root of the problem. Wanting things my way, not wanting to give ground, getting upset when things don't go perfectly.
Things that just get in the way of the group actually achieving its purpose.
It's a reminder, isn't it, that you're part of a team, united, hopefully, by a common goal, meant to work together.
Indeed. And the path of conviction, it describes, it doesn't sound easy. It talks about overwhelming steps, sweating more than others, being humbled more than your colleagues.
Sounds like hard work.
It sounds like transforming yourself first to align with these principles, even when it feels awkward or, well, inconvenient. So linking that back to the bigger picture is portraying a path of humility, self-sacrifice maybe, not trying to be the big shot or satisfy personal ambition within the community. It's about submitting oneself and finding unity with others on that same path.
So, as we start to wrap this up, it seems the core tension is really clear, isn't it? Do we go for the comfortable path, the lifeless one, as the video puts it, maybe through silence or compromise? Or do we embrace the inconvenient path, the one that, according to this source, is where real life and transformation happen through truth and having a clear purpose?
It's a choice presented as something we face constantly, day in, day out.
A daily choice.
And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. In a world that's always pushing convenience, pushing abundance, pushing pleasure, where do you place your gaze? Is it on that maybe cross of inconvenient truth and purpose? Or is it more on the fleeting pleasures the world offers? This deep dive, I think, really invites some pretty deep self-reflection.
Right.
And maybe a measure of courage, too.